Hiya, my name's Charlie and welcome to my channel and welcome to this video. So today's video, as you can tell from the title, is going to be a book haul plus like a chatty sort of catch up video. Yesterday, for those of you that don't know, was a London Booktube meetup kind of thing, which was organised by the wonderful Katie from Books and Things, lovely Katie Lumsden. And yeah, so myself and my sister Emily from Novelle Novels went down to London and picked up some books when we were there, inevitably, even though the actual day wasn't really about that. So the lovely Katie had organised us to visit the London Night Cafe, which is basically a space where you sit and read. So I'll talk, like I said, I'm going to just talk through the day and you'll see all the pictures of all that and see it with all the people and stuff as well. But the beginning of the day started, like I said, with myself and Emily on the train. So there's a picture of me and Emily on the train. Really think you really need to see that. And then we got a train into Liverpool Street where we met with Jennifer Loves Books, and then from there we walked to the Brick Lane Bookshop. It wasn't, like I said, planned to be a bookshop crawl, but as we were walking from Liverpool Street, there's two bookshops that were really, really close to it, which was the Brick Lane Bookshop, like I said, so that's where we headed first. And I found three books, the first of which was an essay collection called This Our Country. This is written by 24 Nigerian writers, and I think one of them is Inua Ilams, who actually wrote one of the Doctor Who episodes last week, so obviously I was like, yes. And I'm loving my non-fiction this year, as you guys know, so yeah, I was like, and it was in the bargain bucket thing, so it was only £4, so I was like, yes, really want to read that. So Penguin have released, I think it's 80 classics, reissued in like these white special editions. I think it's to celebrate 80 years of, their 80th anniversary, I think. If that's wrong, editing Charlie will cut that out. But yeah, I've been seeing the editions online and I've been literally just going crazy for them. So I found this was one that I found that I was most drawn to. It's the Lois the Witch by Elizabeth Gaskell, and on the back it says, beware the self-righteous man of faith, the wicked-eyed child, the jealous lover. For this Salem in 1691, where rumours fly on the wind and witchcraft is abroad. Lois Barclay, cursed in childhood, is a stranger in a strange land, and the devil works with his mischief on Lois's neighbours before the season of madness is out. So yeah, this is like obviously like a short story / novella, I think. And I'm excited by Elizabeth Gaskell, so I'm excited to read it. Then this was the one when I was browsing, I was drawn instantly to the cover, and it's Coynie by Annika Norlin, and Annika Norlin is a Swedish writer, and this book is translated by Alice E. Olsen. And yeah, I'll read you the premise because this is what drew me in. So it says, burnt out from a demanding job and a bustling life in the city, Emily has left the town to spend a few days in the country. Once there, in the peaceful verdant hills down by the river, she encounters a mysterious group of 7 people, each with personal stories of pain, alienation and the longing to live differently. They're misfits, each in their own way, and all led by the enigmatic and charismatic Sarah. How did they end up there? And are they content with the rigid roles they've been assigned? And what happens when this outsider appears, initially drawn to their alternative lifestyle, but can't help stirring things up? And it says about this book, it says it's a masterful blend of humour, emotion, unforgettable characters, and a sharp social commentary. So yeah, it just, something about it, I was just like, yes, I really want to read this. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. So from the Brick Lane Bookshop, the three of us headed to the Liberia Bookshop, and we met the lovely Keri and Ben. So which was just so wonderful to see Keri in real life, because this is the first time I met Keri, and she's just such a, like, obviously, you know, because she's been on the prod along as well, and obviously I'll link Keri's channel with the description, Bookish Adventures of Wellbeing. I'll link all the people that came to the Booktube meetup in the description. But yeah, she was just so warm, friendly, and just instantly kind of give me a hug, and I just love you, Keri. You know that anyway. I love all of these people, obviously. These are just, yeah. So so inside the Liberia Bookshop, I picked up 2 books. I picked up Hunchback by Sawa Ishikawa and translated by Polly Barton. This has been on the International Booker this year. I think it was long listed. I don't think it was shortlisted. It's by an Own Voices disabled author, and I think I'll read you again. I'll quickly read the premise for those people that haven't heard about it. But I think it's like, so it says, we're following Shaka Isawa, who has a severe spine curvature, and she uses an electric wheelchair, and basically I think she writes erotic fiction, and I think the idea is that I think a carer comes into her home and says that he's read all this fiction, and it's sort of like they get embroiled in this like relationship, and yeah, and I know it's meant to be like very, very sexy and racy in places, but it's also meant to be very poignant and powerful. So yeah, I just can't wait to read it. It's very, very short as well. So, and it's got stamped with the Liberia Bookshop stamp, which I love. So, and it's like, also the Liberia Bookshop is so, so beautiful. You're not allowed to film in there, but like I probably will put images that, like I'll link the website, and I'll show some images on screen from there, because it's just gorgeous. There's like a mirror right at the back. Actually, when I was in there, I nearly walked into myself in classic Charlie fashion, and I was nearly apologising to myself. I saw like what I thought was another person in front of me, which was actually myself. And yeah, there was just a bumbly Charlie moment, which obviously you guys all could expect. But I was like basically apologising to myself, but not really. Like, anyway. So yeah, the other book I picked up was another James Baldwin. I've been slowly working my way through James Baldwin's books. I love his work. This is actually non-fiction. I think it's like 2 letters. And yeah, I just can't wait to read it. Yeah, love myself a bit of James Baldwin. So yeah. So after that, we knew that it was actually time to head to the Pizza Express that we went to, that Katja booked for us, and that's where we actually met the rest of the booktubers that were there, and we all had lunch. The lunch was delicious, by the way, and I was actually sat right in the courts at the end with Katja, and that was just so, so lovely to just get to chat properly with Katja. And yeah, obviously, again, Katja is lovely, as are, like I said, I'm going to be super gushy here, but it's true though, because it's just so nice to like check in with your community, and I feel like that's why these meetups are so important, because yeah, obviously we're a community that sort of like is so spread out like all over the country. It's just so nice when you can get together in person and just touch base, and yeah, it just means so much. It just really means so much. Yeah, because it just like, it really I feel like it just really increases those bonds that you have with people, because it just makes you care for people even more when you sort of like have those little moments in real life. After lunch, we were all due to head to the London Night Cafe. Katie had booked it from 2 till 7, so the majority of people then went off to the London Night Cafe, and myself and a few of the others went a little bit rogue, and because we were only 15 minutes away from the Common Press bookshop, which is a bookshop that I visited again last time, and this is a another queer bookshop, and it's just so gorgeous. I love the bookshop. The staff are all just so lovely there. Like all the staff in the shops are lovely, but especially like the Common Press bookshop staff are just, I really just think they were so friendly, and like yeah. So I picked up a book when I was there, and I only picked up one book, but I picked up A Room Above a Shop, and this is by Anjali Shaplan, who is a Welsh author, and this is set in South Wales, I believe, in the 1980s, and we follow 2 characters, M and B. Yeah, M is the slightly older character who owns an ironmonger. Who owns an ironmonger shop, I believe, because I don't know if those are the right words. And yeah, it's their relationship and stuff, and I think there's meant to be some sort of like tragic element to it. I know that Keri said that this is her favourite book of the year so far, and Ben also said it's one of his favourite books of the year. I did start reading it. It's sort of very vignette-y, and but the writing is really gorgeous. So yeah, I like already, like I know I'm gonna love this, and I feel like I just want some time when the house is quiet and I can sit and read and just soak this book up. I'm definitely gonna read this either like today or tomorrow when it's a bit quieter. But yeah, there's the Common Press bookshop. Oh, can you see? And it says save the Common Press because obviously they've had a crowdfunder to save the shop, so I'm hoping, like, obviously that's working because it's still open at the moment, but if I'll link the Common Press bookshop where you can donate if you want to. So yeah, but yeah, so pleased to have picked this up. Then we walked and we headed back to join the others at the London Night Cafe, and we descended down these steps into basically this whole dark space. So I'll put pictures on screen of that. Again, these were taken by other booktubers, so I'll credit the booktubers who took the photos on screen. I think it was Carly, Olivia and Katie, I think, again, because I didn't actually take any photos when I was down there, apart from, I think I took one of Aaron and Sarah, because they both had their books that they were reading together, buddy reading together, that they've been reading. Yeah, and that was just so cozy. And then whilst we were there, so we did some reading, we did some talking, and then also it was Chattie's idea to do like a little game where she got us to get like a pile. We did it like where she got us to get a pile of books, and we had to try and guess the date order of when they were published. And sometimes we were right and sometimes we were less right. We did it sort of 2 rounds of 5 we did two rounds of it, and it was just so much fun anyway. It was just lovely catching up with us. There was less people than there normally is, but it sort of meant that we kind of got, like, it just made it a bit more intimate. So yeah, but obviously I did miss all the people that all my lovely friends that weren't there, but yeah, it was still a lovely day. Also, I just wanted to say as well, thank you to Jen, because Jen kindly gifted me a copy of Severance, which she read by Ling Ma. I know, like, Jen didn't super love this, but I know it's still like one that I think Ben did love it, and I'm looking forward to reading it, because it's like a cult, kind of like a cult classic at this point. So many people have read and loved this book, and I'm so intrigued to see what I think of it. And it's sort of just, this is, for those of you that don't know, is like a dystopic book where I think is like people like almost like zombies, and they're sort of working, but they're not there mindfully, but they're still doing their daily routines. I think that's right. But yeah, so excited to read that. And then we managed to, after that, then me and Emily actually left, I think, about 5:30, 5:15, 5:30ish. And we walked to Liverpool Street with Olivia and obviously Jen. And Olivia showed us the way, because obviously she lives in London, so she's very familiar with it all, and she just knows her way around like at the back of her hand. So she was so I just wanted to like give a special shout out here to Olivia as well, because she was so sweet with us, because obviously me and Emily, we don't know London super well, and so she helped us find, not only did she help us find our tube station, she literally took us right to the actual train, where the train was going to be, and she waited with us until the tube left. And I just think, like, she's just such a lovely person. It was so nice to have that extra time to talk with her as well. Olivia, love you as well, so big hearts to you. Like yeah, like, just like such a lovely person, like, obviously. So yes, so that those are the books that I got from. I did also pick up some books when I was in Hull the last weekend, so I'll quickly show you those, plus a couple of library books. So the 4 books I got when I was in Hull, I got for the first 3 of them I got from a lovely independent bookshop called J.E Books, which again I will link in the description. I visited Hull incidentally with my lovely friend Claire, so if you want to see about my adventures, I will link my Instagram down below, because I did like a whole story of it. I had the most loveliest time, and I really enjoyed myself. We stayed with Claire's parents, which was just such a lovely, like, honestly, it was just like the best weekend last weekend. I had the best weekend just having a nice adventure with Claire and just like seeing her hometown. So yeah, I'm going to show you the books. Like, anyway, again, this is a chatty book haul, as I said. So J.E Books, they've got like, they have a selection of, the downstairs is all brand new books, and then there's an upstairs section which is like second-hand books. So the book I picked up from in the second-hand selection was Knocked Down by Dick Francis. Dick Francis is an author that Alice loved, and also her lovely mum Jane loves. So and I've got a mission that I'm planning to try and read like all of Alice's favourite Dick Francis books. Like, I just want to read all of Alice's favourite books by Dick Francis, particularly like the ones that she's rated like 4 stars or above. So yeah, this was one of them, so that's why I picked it up. And Dick Francis writes about sort of like horsey crime like stuff, so yeah, that's that. Then in terms of the newer books I picked up from downstairs, I picked up collected poems by Philip Larkin. Philip Larkin wasn't born in Hull, but he does have deep connections there, and I can't remember the reasons, but there's a statue of him in the train station, and yeah, so I know he's got like strong connections with Hull. So yeah, and so I just wrote, like, and my friend Claire had been talking about him, so when I saw the poetry collection I was like, this is meant to be. So yeah, I was super excited to get to that. Then I also spotted Intimacies by Katie Kitamura. Katie Kitamura is an author that is hotly tipped to be, not this book, but her latest one, which I'll put a picture of on screen, is hotly tipped to be on this year's Booker. So yeah, I really want to read, before I read that one, I really want to read this one. I don't know a whole lot about it. It says an interpreter has come to The Hague to escape New York and work at the International Court. She's drawn into simmering personal dramas. Her lover Adrian is separated from his wife but entangled in his marriage. Her friend Jana witnesses a seemingly random act of violence, a crime the interpreter becomes increasingly obsessed with as she befriends the victim's sister, and she's pulled into an explosive political controversy when she's asked to interpret for a former president accused of war crimes. I mean, it sounds really good, and I know loads of people have read and loved this previously. So yeah, that's that one. Then, like I said, we were staying with Claire's parents, and her dad, Dave, who's so lovely, he kindly gifted me his copy of The Plague Dogs by Richard Adams. Richard Adams, for those of you that don't know, is most famous for writing Watership Down, and so these are like, he often writes these deeply depressing books. I think this book, we follow 2 dogs that have escaped this like place where they've been experimented on, and they then set off and they want to kind of live independently, but then obviously, like, these are like, all his books have got like all these deeper meanings. So yeah, and I know this book in particular, my husband coincidentally loves the story. I know he hasn't read the book, but he's seen the movie version or adaptation of it. So yeah, it's definitely one I want to get to, and yeah, it would be a good pick for Misery May, I'm fairly certain, although I don't know whether I'll get to it quite yet. So that's that one. Then, so those are all the books I picked up from Hull, and then I've got 2 books I picked up from the library last week, one of which is The Mare by Angahard, Hampshire, and this is based upon a true story of I think it's a lady called Hermine Brosdiner, who was the first person to be extradited from the United States for Nazi war crimes. So I think what it is that she committed all these crimes, and she fell in love with this man called Russell. It says Russell Ryan. So yeah, so she met this man Russell, and they fell in love, and then it's basically a journalist comes to their door and is basically obviously kind of outs her for all these war crimes that she's committed. And I think it's like meant to be, it says on the back, it says the Mare tells Hermine and Russell's story for the first time in fiction. It explores how an ordinary woman could descend so quickly into evil, examining the role played by the government, propaganda, ideology, fear and cognitive dissonance, and asks why her husband chose to stay with her despite discovering what she's done. Yeah, because I think she was famous, the reason why it's called The Mare is because she was famous for kicking her, like the victims, she was famous for kicking the prisoners to death, so which obviously is horrific. So and I think that is actually a photo of her. So yeah, that's one I think I've seen it floating around, and I just wanted to pick it up. And then the last book, but not leastly, is a book that is not really a Charlie book necessarily, but like I try and read most things, and this was recommended to me because for those that don't know, I volunteer in the library twice a week, and I run some children's groups, specifically the one that this book was recommended to me by one of the mums at the Bounce and Rhyme group on the Thursday. And so yeah, she said that she'd read and loved this, and she was recommending it to me for my daughter actually, but because she picked up 2 books that I had recommended her, I thought it was only right that I pick up the book that she had recommended. So this is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, and this is basically, I think it's like a YA romantasy kind of thing, I believe, but I know it's got like, it's very, very plotty and quite like page turnery. So, and I know that the mum had said she read it in a day, and so yeah, I did start this in the middle of the night the other night, and yeah, it seems quite fun. So yeah, it's nice to read like books out of your comfort zone and kind of read, to have some like fun in your reading diet and stuff. So yeah, excited to read this one. And that is it. Those are all of the books. That is all of my chat about the day. I had such a wonderful time yesterday and the previous weekend, like I said. So thank you so much specifically as well, Katie, for organising the Booktube meetups. She always does such a great job. So it was so lovely to meet all of the Booktubers yesterday. We just had, like I said, it was just the best time. Let me know if you've been buying any books recently. Let me know what books you've been buying, what you've been up to. Just like have a good old chat with me in the comments. I would love to do that. So yeah, take care and sending you lots of love. Goodbye.